Japanese role-playing games, also known as JRPGs, are growing in popularity with games like Final Fantasy XV and Fire Emblem. These games are famous for having rich, sometimes convoluted stories. Other times they can be downright silly. However, we're not going to be joking around today. Instead, we'll be looking at some off-putting and sad moments in JRPGs. As a precaution, this video will contain spoilers for some of these games, so consider yourself warned. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to TheGamer and ring that bell to become part of our notification squad so you never miss a video. Without further ado, here are 10 JRPG moments that took it too far. AXEL. Okay, so we have to talk about this one, perhaps because it's one of the most famous cutscenes in Final Fantasy's catalog. But the death of AXEL is still devastating to this day. While this scene has been parodied and memed to death, it comes from a pretty heavy scene. AXEL is praying for an end to the destruction of the world when her efforts are cut short by Sephiroth. AXEL is a happy-go-lucky character that always saw the good in people, and just when you get to know her and really appreciate her as a character, she's tragically killed. Damn you, Sephiroth! Pokemon X and Y. Pokemon X and Y brought a lot to the game. Mega evolutions, a new region, and a new story. While Pokemon games have largely been story independent, X and Y brought in a story about a mysterious man named AZ. In the third act of the game, he talks about how he used an ultimate weapon to end a great war, but in the process, killed his best friend, a Pokemon he held near and dear to his heart. Pokemon games have not had a lot of cutscenes, but with the newer titles, stories like this one are becoming more commonplace. And it all began with a man and his Pokemon, the best of friends, until he tragically murdered him. ZACK'S death. Final Fantasy VII has a lot of memorable moments that can sometimes spill outside their own game. The main character, Cloud, the person we thought we were playing as this whole time, turns out to be just a lie, a figment of a fallen warrior. After escaping from Shinra, after being experimented on for 4 years, Zack Flare and his friend Cloud Strife try to escape Midgar. The two are pursued by soldiers and Turks, and even though Zack is first class, the sheer number of troops overwhelm him and he's left for dead. Cloud holds Zack in his last moments, and with his dying breath, Zack passes the Buster Sword to Cloud to live on and continue his legacy. The scene was fully fleshed out in Crisis Core, but even in the original game, this tender moment brought on the tears. Why, Final Fantasy VII, why? Fire Emblem Awakening. Ultimatums are never easy. You are put between a rock and a hard place with no clear or good result in sight. Fire Emblem Awakening does something far worse and cruel. Halfway through the game, Emmeryn is captured by Pigia, and your party can't get to her in time. So you're given a choice: surrender the Fire Emblem or let Emmeryn fall to her death. Naturally, the party wants to save her, but giving up the Fire Emblem is a much worse in the long run. Unfortunately, surrendering the emblem does nothing to save Emmeryn, as either option goes to a cutscene where she falls to her death, and Chrom is left running towards her fallen body. Hope's mom. So talking about Final Fantasy XIII can kind of be a mixed bag, but there are some moments in the game worth talking about. One of them is in the final part of the game. When the prisoners are escaping, a fight breaks out, and Hope is separated from his mom. Snow, another protagonist, tries to save her, but is unable to. Now, this would be an alright moment, but for half the game, Hope vows to kill Snow for what he has done, and when he finally confronts Snow about it, the tone gets a little darker. Drama! Breath of Fire 2. While not one of the more well-known of JRPGs, Breath of Fire packs a devastating punch and reads almost like a tragedy from beginning to end. In the game, you're tasked with descending into hell to do battle with the devil himself. Ryu, the main character, and his mother's clan guard the gates of hell and agree to let you pass because you are the chosen one. Oh, another one of these chosen ones, eh? After the long and grueling battles your party faces, and after the death of Ryu's mother, you finally save the day and defeat the devil. Or so you thought. With his dying words, the devil says he will return, which leaves Ryu with just one choice. He must now defend the gates of hell. This causes him to transform into a giant dragon, curse to slumber, and block off the gates of hell as his mother did. It's tough being a dragon. SUIKODEN. War never changes. While that may be from Fallout, it's also applicable to SUIKODEN, a game where you must fight against an oppressive empire your family once served. At one point in the game, you come face to face with Milich Oppenheimer. This dastardly vision unleashes the spores of agony, and as the name implies, they are agonizing. He leaves you and your party to die while you get eaten alive, but there's a way out. There's a switch someone needs to hold down to let the others escape. So, who's left behind? It's Gremio, who makes sure the steel door stays closed so you and the party can escape. You watch helplessly as Gremio sacrifices himself for the party and perishes. LUFIA 2. LUFIA was a game series that got overlooked in its heyday, mostly due to the heavy hitters Square Enix and other big developers. Nevertheless, LUFIA 2 has some truly heart-wrenching moments. In the final act of the game, Maxim and his party have fought their way through the Doom Island, killing the group of gods known as the Sinestrals. When they're about to leave after a good day of god-killing, Deus, the Sinestral of Terror, uses his life energy from his fallen comrades to make one last attempt at terror and plans to crash all of Doom Island into Maxim's hometown. The only way to stop him is to destroy the 3 magic stones powering overpowering the island. Of course, in doing so, Maxim destroys himself like a true hero. AXEL, Kingdom Hearts 2. With Kingdom Hearts 3 maybe kind of coming this year, possibly maybe, who knows.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
We think it's fitting to include one of the more memorable characters from the second game and spin-offs. You might recognize AXEL from the game or from about 50 billion people cosplaying him when Kingdom Hearts 2 was popular. In KH2, he's Roxas' mentor and an all-around okay guy. He comes off as one of those bad guys that kind of has a heart, even though he's a nobody. In the end, he dies trying to save Sora and tells him he knows where Kairi is. He comes back in other games that take place before Kingdom Hearts 2, but that's a whole separate video. Hey, get to work, writers. Let's go. GIYGAS Earthbound. Some people might even say the entire third act of this game goes too far. Where to even begin with Earthbound, known as Mother 2 in Japan? In order to stop GIYGAS, you must essentially die and travel back in time to when GIYGAS was a baby and kill it. Even in a fetal state, the creature is not to be taken lightly. What is worse, however, is that along with the trippy imagery and music, you find yourself killing an innocent child. Sure, it may one day become this unstoppable monster, but when you fight it, it has done nothing wrong at that point. It doesn't even want to fight and cries in agony as you beat it to a pulp. Let that visual soak in. And those were 10 JRPG moments that took it too far. What do you think? Do you agree with our list? Do you know of any other sad or off-putting JRPG moments? Let us know in the comments section below. If you haven't already, subscribe to The Gamer to stay up to date with all things gaming. Thanks for watching.